Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to The Tipping Point. I'm your host, Joanne Johnson, and guess what? We've got a fantastic show for you tonight. Okay, I have a question before we begin. Who's all about technology? Okay, I lied. I have more than one question. Who's all about technology? Who sometimes feels bogged down by it? And who wants to learn how to do it better, how to do social media better, how to do a podcast better, how to deliver it better? If that's you, this is your show. So buckle up, Buttercup. No, buckle up, Buttercup. I have got a fantastic guest with you tonight. We have got Brandan Fisher, who is the CEO and founder of Live Pigeon. Now, you guys know I always stream from Live Pigeon. Always been doing it for a long time. I'm super excited to have him here. But before I bring him on, let's take a quick look at this overview.
This software will help you to go live without actually having to be live. So now every time that you see me, you're going to be asking yourself the question, is this live? Or did he do a pre-recorded video? And so my name is Brandan Fisher, and I created this software almost 3 years ago. And what's cool about it is it actually works with Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and so much more. And what I want to do right now is to jump in and show you how I do this. So check this out. All right, so I just went to livepigeon.com, and I'm going to click Upload File. I now have a file called Family on the Beach. All I have to do is fill out my title and my description. I'll then sign in with Facebook, and from here I'm going to go live to my Live Pigeon page. I can add multiple destinations if I want, and you're done. How amazing is that? You guys, I am live right now on Facebook, and check this out. That's me on the beach with my family, but wait, I'm like right here with you in front of this camera. I'm in two places at once. Are you guys seeing the power of this tool? I absolutely love this. So because you've been watching for this long, I have a gift for you. What I want you to do is click on this video. We're gonna give you your very first Live Pigeon video for free. So what are you waiting for? Go check it out. This is my gift to you for just hanging out with me for this long. So go do it. Go do it right now. You don't wanna miss out.
Okay, and I did not let you see all of that video, so you really were not with us that long. Why? Because I have him here in the studio. I'm very excited, as I know you are. I want him to explain it. You know, there's some really great things about technology, but these guys take it to another level. And let's welcome Brandan Fisher of Live Pigeon. Hello.
Joanne, thank you so much for having me on today.
Well, you know that I'm super excited because we have been talking behind the scenes for a little while on separate occasions for different reasons. And you know how much I love this technology, Brandan. And I want to, let me pull this off really quick. I want to make sure you're up on the ticker. So if people are just joining us right now, we're with Brandan Fisher, the CEO and founder of an app called Live Pigeon. So Brandan, if you would, go back to the beginning, because this is a relatively new piece of technology. It's a few years old. Talk to us about the idea before we get into all the nuts and bolts.
You bet. It's interesting. So I've been doing video production for 15 years now, and we had a client of ours reach out to us who was he was going to be going on a family vacation, and he was like, hey, we found out that there was a way that you could take videos and push them as if they were live onto Facebook. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm going to be able to offer this to all of my clients. Like, this is going to be something cool. Because a lot of times as somebody that has done video production, you know, we'll get hired to do a video, but then we just hand off the video and then that's it, you know. But yeah, this is pretty cool to be able to have this as an option of just a different way in which you can repurpose your content to be able to go live onto social media platforms. So that's pretty cool.
It's a game changer. You're a game changer because you're right. So people are live streaming all day long. You know, technology is cool in that people who maybe wanted to be on TV and didn't have that opportunity, or they thought, okay, now this is an in for me and I have talent and I want to get out there and show the world what I've got, or maybe they are pushing their products. And, you know, we've seen even like thrift stores and different people start live streaming, right? And show you all of their products that are for sale, all these things. But now you've decided to create this thing that, like you said, okay, I need to go on vacation. I want to go to the beach. Maybe I don't have time. Maybe my show airs at 11 p.m. every night and I need to be asleep because I start at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I
So
know.
talk about it.
Absolutely. In fact, we've heard so many use case scenarios that have come out of the software. For example, we've had people who go up to the mountains, and let's say they have a product that they're trying to sell and they're trying to be in the element, but there's not a good internet connection. They wouldn't be able to connect to their phones to go live. But the fact that they can pull out their phone, hit record, and then once it's on their phone, they can upload it later to then go live has been really cool. We had a customer reach out to us recently who was saying that, he doesn't like to be live when he's on vacation with his family, because then anyone at back home that sees it, now that there's an empty house, he could be then targeted. And so he's used it in a different way. But we've even had churches in rural areas who haven't been able to stream live. This has then been an option for them to be able to do that. And so it's so fun to hear how many different ways in which people are using it. It's not just for vacations. I know that seems to be the thread here, but even my example in my video, I happen to do it that way. But this really should be able to give you time freedom. And really, when I was doing this for my clients, what was interesting is we were having people paying us like $500 to basically take a 90-minute video and push it live to Facebook. But then that was locking my time up because I had to sit there and press play. And then, once it ended, I had to end the stream. And so from my own experience, there was all this frustration with it that I was like, man, it would be so nice if there was a software that we could create that would make this so much easier. And we set out, 4 years ago to do it, and we've been doing it ever since. And it's been awesome just to see the growth that we've had, and just hearing from our customers of how they're using it has been really cool as well.
I never thought about the safety issue, but that is really smart, because you don't want to tell people. You never want to post about your vacation or anything until you're home. People, because then, like you said, they know, okay, this person is a target now. They're not there. But so many things, and so many people have been blessed by this. It also gives people back quality of time. It gives them time with their families. And talk about, so you can either choose to go live now, or you can schedule a broadcast, but you can also put things in what's called the incubator. Can you kind of share with folks what those terms mean?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to share one thing, if that's all right. Another use case scenario and how people are using this is, let's say you're working a 9-to-5 job, but you're trying to branch off and do your own thing. Like, this could be a good opportunity for you to be maybe at your desk at work, but then you're really going live to the audience that you're trying to grow online. So I just wanted to just throw that in there.
Wants to pay you. Nobody wants to pay you to be online doing something else. So you're right. And a lot of people, a lot of musicians, comedians, actors, we all have day jobs until we really make it big, right? So we've got to pay our bills. And you're right. If I go to work, they don't want me online during the day. So for instance, you and I we've actually pre-recorded this, but we are showing up live. Just so, spoiler alert, we're not actually live.
Which is fun because, me and you are live right now, and it's great. Yes. We still get this interaction, but we're able to now then share it live to your audience, which is pretty fun and exciting. The other thing that I think is interesting is we've had customers in Australia who might be selling something to people in the US, and they can then schedule it for when we're awake and then they're sleeping, and so it's just been interesting to see how all the different ways in which people have been using this, for sure. If you don't mind, I'll jump into the last question you asked me, which is like,
yes.
How are all the ways that we can go live? Inside the video example that you guys saw at the very beginning, what was cool about this is you can upload your video file to Live Pigeon. Once we have the video file, you can set the time that you want to go live. You can choose to go live right now, or you can choose to schedule it, which is, those are kind of the two differentiators as far as like the actual scheduling goes. But the nice thing is you can upload multiple video files all in one day. And we'll probably get into that a little bit later as far as just kind of creating a content schedule. But The other option is, or another thing that we have is something called the incubator, which is your video library. So if I'm going to be uploading, let's say, I don't know, do you know how many times you go live per week, or maybe your audience would go live?
I go live twice a week.
Okay, perfect. So twice a week. So the cool thing is you could spend one day a week recording all your content if you wanted to, and then you can then schedule that out. So what you could do is you could upload your 2 videos at the same time to our software, and then schedule those out of when you want them to go live.
Another option too is put everything in the incubator, because that's one of the things that you taught me, because I was not doing that.
Yep.
And maybe I plan to upload everything and schedule everything, but then life gets in the way. Okay. And I forget, or I can have a day where I can put everything in the incubator. Heaven forbid there's a problem, and it's there, because it can take, 10, 15 minutes, maybe depending on your internet speed, to upload. Right. So you don't want to do that right before your scheduled time that you're going to go live. So you want to do that well enough in advance and stick the things in the incubator and go into that, Brandan, because you taught me so much about that recently.
Absolutely. Thank you for clarifying. Because the thing is, we want to make sure that you guys give yourselves enough time to upload your videos to us. That's a really good point. We had a customer reach out to us who wanted to go live like right now, but the problem is we have to wait for the video file to get uploaded to us. So if there's a little bit of pre-planning ahead of time, so a good general rule, depending on how the length of your video file, but if you have short videos that you're going live with, you don't need that much time. But it's always good to plan like at least an hour or 2, depending on your internet speed. Just like Joanne said, that's really going to be the bottleneck, is your internet speed. You can shoot videos on your phone. Because what we say, we're browser based, which means there's no software that you actually download. The nice thing is you can use smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, a desktop. We don't limit you on the devices that you can, use. The nice thing is you can record your video from these devices and then upload it. You just go to our website from a browser, and we prefer to use Chrome. But once you do that, you just can upload your video files. And then once we have them, you can then just schedule them out for the time that you want to go live, which is really nice.
And it's very user friendly. And that's one thing I think that is so important, because not everybody is a tech person. We know that. You guys are. And it's interesting, and it's very cool, because you might think, oh, we've created this and it's user friendly for people, because you get it. Okay. But you did it. You did it across the board for everybody. So it really is user friendly, and I'm tickled with it. And I know that a lot of people are starting to sign up for this. It's convenient. It's easy, it's effective, and it's affordable. And not that I want you to give out exact prices of anything unless you're comfortable doing so, but it is extremely affordable. But before we get to that, I want to go back to something else that you said, Brandan, when you were talking about being in different time zones. And, we all are uploading our stuff. Like this is a show. This is I'm not selling a product. This is an actual show that we've developed to go on YouTube and to go on Facebook. It's 30 minutes. It takes my show only about anywhere from 12 to say 18 minutes to upload and process, which is not a lot of time. Go take your dog out, go, stir something on the stove, whatever. It's not like it's a long time. But it's then sitting in the incubator. It's waiting for you for when you're ready. You can push that go live button if you want to go live 5 minutes from then when it's been processed, or schedule it like you've said. Now, you can only schedule out for a week, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we have limitations. For example, we have an integration with Facebook. And inside that integration, they have it limited to 7 days. And so we've kind of modeled our whole software based off of that. When we first launched, we only had the ability to go live to Facebook. And then as soon as we did that, everyone was like, okay, well, this is great, but now I want YouTube. And it's like, okay. So then we had to go and get YouTube. And then once we got YouTube, now people want Instagram. And so it's funny how we're just trying to keep up with the demand of all the different social media platforms that people are wanting to go live to. But everything is based off of that 7-day window that
Facebook has in place, which has actually worked out well for us in that you can upload, let's say, yeah, if you want to go live every single day, you can do that. If you want to go live multiple times a day, you can do that. Really, the only thing that our plans really limit you on is the duration of time. That's pretty much all our plans are based off of. So in Joanne's example, if you're going to be going live with a 30-minute show, then that would be on our standard plan. But if you were under 20 minutes, then you'd be on our basic plan. But yeah, we don't limit you on the amount of places that you go live. We don't limit you on how many times per day you want to go live. I mean, you could take this same video that we have today and you could go live with it on the hour, every hour, if that's what you chose to do. And again, we don't want to limit you on what you're wanting to do. And as far as I think you'd ask the question about time zones, as far as that, like, it's all based off the time zone that you're in. And if you wanted to, you just got to do the math of, if you wanted to go over to Europe and go live while they're awake, if that's where your audience is, you could totally do that. You just need to figure out, okay, what time would that be in my time zone, enter that time in, and then you could go live at that time.
Cool, Brandon, is that we're sleeping and they're up and they're watching the show. Right. And there's so much that I want to say about this because how much I love Live Pigeon. But it's okay. First of all, let me go back. I kind of, the way that I said that to you about, well, it's only a week, that was not a negative at all. No. It can actually be very confusing. If we've got 25 shows, 30 shows that are a month out, I'm going to get lost in that. So actually the week for me works very, very well. And I know it does for a lot of other people. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought because I got, how I get so excited and I get a little tangential sometimes, but so we've got the incubator, we've got live, it goes to YouTube, to Instagram, to Facebook. What else?
That's a great question. Technically, we have our system designed, just like Joanne said, we really had to we tried to figure out how, what is the easiest way for people to use our software. And we tried to make it not techie. We tried to make it so that you didn't have to know what some of these technical terms are and things like that. But technically, any website or any social media destination that you want to go live to, as long as you can get a stream key. I know that might be some techno babble for some of you, but if you can get a stream key from them, which is basically it's the way in which our software talks to any other platform, and they do it through these stream keys. If you get a stream key, you can go live anywhere you want. So for example, if you want to go live to LinkedIn Live, you would go to them and get a stream key. You'd plug that into us. We don't actually have an integration yet with LinkedIn Live, but it's also because they haven't opened it up for everyone to use yet.
Exactly. That's right.
So we just want, I guess what I'm saying, we focused on the top three. So we've got Facebook, YouTube, and we just added Instagram. And those have been the top three that we go live to. There's other people out there, other customers we have that are going live to Twitch and to Vimeo and all these other places. And you can definitely do those, but there's a little bit of work involved to be able to do that. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you all is it is possible. Yes, you can go live anywhere you want to go, but there might be a little bit of work involved. And really what we're trying to do is how can we make this as easy as possible? So that's why we're focused on the top three places. And it all depends on where your audience is. So for example, if I think you were talking about earlier, like a comedian, if you're doing, maybe you don't want to go live on Twitch because there might be more just video game players on Twitch. So it's kind of like knowing where your audience is and then being able to speak to them, unless you have jokes about gamers and it would be a good audience to potentially go after, then maybe I would go live there. If not, then maybe I'd focus on Facebook and growing that. And we also have what is called our Live Pigeon Academy, which is a ton of training videos. If you want to learn about strategy, tips, anything like that on how to go live to some of these platforms. But it's all about how can you speak to your audience on where you're at. Because if you want to grow your YouTube channel, then maybe you go live to YouTube, but maybe you make a little trailer or something else to go live onto Facebook, getting everyone over to YouTube. Does that make sense? Like
It does, and that's
there's
something that we need to talk about. Yes.
absolutely. There's
But no,
ways that you can get people to go to where you're trying to actually grow. So yeah.
yeah. And you can do this simultaneously. You can stream to YouTube and all these places, simultaneously, except for LinkedIn. So this is not your fault. And if anybody is getting upset at Brandan and the team about how come we can't get to LinkedIn, you have to go through an application process with them, and it takes 6 to 8 weeks to even hear back if they're going to allow you to be able to stream. So that has nothing to do with Live Pigeon.
Thank you.
It's true.
No, absolutely. So, and like I said, if there is a place that you guys are like, oh man, we would love to have this destination, like let us know. We listen to our customers, and we're trying our best to make sure that we can get all the platforms covered that you're trying to go live to. But like I said, we've just been focused on the core 3 and just making sure that those are rock solid. But after that, we can totally look at doing some other ones as well.
The other thing, and this is when I lost my train of thought before, was about another cool thing about doing this. So people that are just jumping on, we're talking to Brandan Fisher, who is the CEO and founder of Live Pigeon, which is a streaming platform for your pre-recorded video. You guys need to, let me put his website back up here again. I'm just thanking our sponsors, but livepigeon.com. Okay, so let's say that you and I, now we're recording this show, we have it in the incubator, and then I go back and I say, okay, we're going to schedule this for, I don't know, next Thursday. Okay. Now the show is live. What that does for me, just for people who watch this show, as you're watching The Tipping Point, and you know now that I'm not actually live, what I am doing is then pushing my show to different groups or different pages. I'm actually on my phone watching the show with you. And as you're commenting, either me or someone who's on my team will look at your comments, and we're actually answering you live, and it doesn't distract from the show itself.
Yeah. In fact, what's really nice about that is then if you have an interview show like this, the thing is we're interviewing and talking, and it's great. But yeah, if anything, we're not necessarily going to be answering questions like live, but just like Joanne said, she's there watching. And if you did have anything, you could throw in, questions, comments, concerns, and then maybe maybe Joanne builds this into her show. Next week, she might cover some of those at the beginning of her next show or at the end. And again, how cool is this? The fact that we have the ability to have, like, here Joanne has her show. She invites me on as a guest. I mean, technology was not this way, and now we have it. And this is so cool. Like, it's almost like Joanne has her own Tonight Show, and she invited me on as a guest. And think about that, you guys. You guys can have this exact same thing. You guys could create your own shows or your own content, and you get to basically craft however it is that you want that to be. The nice part about Live Pigeon is if Joanne messes up in the middle of this interview, or if I do and I'm like, oh no, we can stop it. We could go through and edit out that section and make it seamless so that the audience never knows or never sees it. And if you have fear of public speaking, or if you have fear of being in front of a camera, or, oh no, I don't want to look a certain way, or if you're wanting to be more polished about it, you can totally do that. And that is just another benefit of being able to use Live Pigeon, is the fact that you can either craft the show that you want, you can edit it the way that you want, but then we can push it out just like they would. The Tonight Show isn't actually live, right? They record it during the day, but then we see it that night.
Right.
So yeah.
And I agree with you. I think that I should have the next Tonight Show, but that's just between you, me, and Jesus and all of the viewers. But I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm kind of interesting. A lot of people do love to cut their video and do all that. I do not, for whatever reason. Maybe I'm lazy. I don't know, Brandan. I just like to let it all hang out and have it be very raw and authentic. And I do that same thing with my television shows. And it's just no cuts, no edits. What you see is what you get. But having the ability to do that. And not everybody is like me. Not everybody likes to go straight through. So having it pre-recorded, you go back, you edit, you give it to you push it out. It's tremendous. And people are using your service from all over the world, and people watch this show. We have a lot of people from Italy and Canada and Nepal. They love this show. Thank God. I'm so happy. And, I'm hoping that everybody calls you and gets with you and says, you know what, I want this in my life. Because for those of you who are new to this, it's easy. If I can do this, you can do this. I promise you. And it has made my life so much easier, Brandan, because I am not that tech person. I think I've said it 300 times already, but it's the truth. And, we need people like you who are constantly developing these things. But I don't want you to go today, or tonight rather, without saying something about you as a human. Oftentimes people will create a product, or they will be a CEO of a company, and you never know who they are. You never talk to them. I have talked to you so many times, and maybe I have an issue, or I think I have an issue, and it may not be an issue, but in my mind it's an issue, and I want to call the number. And just for those who know, Brandan is the one who answers that phone, and he cares deeply about his clients and his customers. And that is something, Brandan, that I think sets you apart. And this show is about not only national entertainers, but it's about game changers. And that is what you are. And that's why I wanted you to come on the show. And everyone needs to know he is not a paid sponsor. This is not a paid spot. I brought you on, Brandan, because I really believe in what you're doing. And the fact that you care that much about your clients, whether they spend $20 a month or $2,000 a month. I mean, you answer that phone and you're there for them. Talk to us a little bit about why that is.
What's interesting is I actually do care about the customer experience. In fact, what's been interesting is I've been training other people on our team as we've grown, is we are definitely customer support focused. I mean, the thing is, going live is stressful. Technology is stressful. And the fact is, we put our phone number at the bottom of every single page. We want to make sure that we are accessible, because the thing is, if you do experience something, which I don't think that you will, but sometimes, things happen and you want to be able to talk to somebody. And that's how me and Joanne got connected. And what's fascinating is to be able to walk someone through over the phone and just have that touch point. When you call us, there's not like a directory or a tree. You don't have to wait a long time to talk to somebody. We're here based in the U.S. We do care about you, and I think it shows. And I think that that's really how we've grown our business, is almost going back to how things used to be. I think now, we're just in a different time. A lot of times you'll call someone, they're in a different country. Sometimes they're very difficult to understand. And when you have a technical support issue, I don't know, it's so nice and reassuring to actually know that when you make a phone call, you're going to get somebody. And really, we do care about our customers. We've made a lot of changes over the years because of suggestions and things that we could do to make the software better and easier and more accessible. And so that's what we're just all focused on. And that's what we're trying to do, is if we can help you to take your message and go live, then it's so rewarding for me to be able to be a part of that. The fact is, you're able to change people's lives through creating content that I can't touch point. I don't, but this helps me to be a part of that. And I think it's really cool. Just the fact that we have this technology in a spot now where we can have our own shows, we can have our own content that we can create, and to be able to share that with the world. I mean, Joanne, you're touching people from all over the world. The fact that you guys are tuning in today, I mean, Joanne's doing something, and you guys could look at what she's doing and maybe look at, who can you affect, who can you have an impact on. I mean, the pandemic actually is what really helped our business. If you want to look at, like, there's a lot of people who suffered during the pandemic, and I'm not, making light of that. The thing is, though, we've been able to have a lot of churches, a lot of musicians, hopefully a lot more comedians being able to perform live in front of, let's say, their webcam or their iPhone or their camera, and getting what they do out into the world. anyways, if you can't tell, I'm super passionate about it. I love it. And if we can help people, and we want to make sure that you feel supported in this. And so if you need anything, or if you have questions or comments or concerns, like, reach out to us, because we definitely, first off, we love hearing from our customers. But the second one is we just want to be able to help you to get your message out into the world.
He means every single bit of that, my friends. And, I sold him out. I said, okay, when you call, it's going to be him. Okay. That's true today. That being said, the company is growing by leaps and bounds, and it may not always be Brandan, but one thing I know for sure, if he's not the one answering the phone, he's training his team to act in that same manner. And, Brandan, if you've ever gone, say, to the grocery store or something, and maybe the cashier doesn't even notice you, and you're having to look and figure out what your total is, and they're having a conversation with somebody else, and you're, excuse me,
Yeah.
it matters. And so, you probably remember one day we were on the phone, and I was over the moon, because I was like, Brandan, it means so much to me that you are taking the time. And it wasn't just the phone call. You guys, then we did online chats, and we walked through things, which it turned out to be nothing major. But you guys took your time. And I know that you have all kinds of things to do. You spent hours with me you didn't have to, I guess is the point. But because you did, that's why you're here. And that's why you're going to be successful, more successful than you already are, because people, they can spend their money anywhere, right? We want them to spend it with people who care about them. It's not just their business. It's not just their dollars. You care about people as people.
Absolutely. In fact, we tried to also, if you want to do email, we give you our email. We put our phone number on the bottom. If you want to send us a text message, we'll, whatever your communication path is, like, that's what we try to focus on. Because some people don't want a phone call, right? They're like intimidated to call people. It's a foreign thing almost to some today, and they just want to send us a text message. And so anyway, we have the ability for you to communicate whatever you're most comfortable with. Like I said, our goal is just how can we connect with you, and how can we help you?
Let's wrap it up. We've got about 1 minute. So again, we're sitting with Brandan Fisher, CEO and founder of Live Pigeon. And Brandan, I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you for being here. What is one takeaway maybe that you would want potential clients to know?
Just that, producing content doesn't have to be hard, or going live doesn't have to be like this huge technical thing. It's very familiar to how you're going live. If you haven't gone live, don't let fear overcome you or take over to the point where you're not even getting your content out. We do have a 14-day free trial. If you want to check us out, I would encourage you to do so, and just pull out your phone and, just record a message. I'm guessing that when Joanne just started her show, she might have had a few people, maybe it was just her and her mom, or whoever was just tuning in and watching. But then over time, you guys, if you keep up on this, you'll continue to keep growing. And again, we'll evolve with you as you want to do that. But again, just give us a try. Like I said, don't let that fear stop you from getting your message out into the world.
Absolutely. Again, Brandan Fisher, CEO and founder of Live Pigeon. Thank you so much for being here. And I know I'll be talking to you soon. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
Okay, friends, do not walk, run. Seriously, go to your computer, go to livepigeon.com. Do the 14-day trial. You guys will not be sorry. Again, for those who are just now joining us, we were honored to have Brandan Fisher of Live Pigeon. It is an app that was developed about 3-4 years ago to help you look like you're live, take your content and stream it to multiple channels, make it look like you're live when you're not, for many, many reasons. It's not just a matter of convenience. Go back, if you're just now joining, watch the whole program. You're going to be glad that you did. Get with Brandan. I'm encouraging everybody, radio personalities, musicians, comedians, business owners, people who own, if you own a store, if you're wanting to get stuff out, whatever it is, this is the platform for you. You guys, you know how much I love you. I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you for coming. And I'm going to go out with a couple of sponsors and then our outro. Until next time, please be loving, be kind, and above all, be humble.
Hello, Tipping Point viewers. My name is David Chuddick, and I'm the host of the Weekly Wealth Podcast, www.weeklywealthpodcast.com, and I am also a financial advisor. If you have anything that's keeping you up at night with regards to your money or finances, email me at david@parallelfinancial.com or check out my Calendly link, www.calendly.com/davidpf. Let's have a 30-minute conversation. Let's talk about what next steps you may have in your financial life.
Hi, this is Chris with Palmetto Alliance Institute. Do you have a license that you need continuing education credits for? If so, give us a call. We're your source for continuing education.